Hello. So recently I did a March bingo and it was fun. It was with ASL, and I did most of the March holidays and a little bit into April. It just depends. And I think I had forgot one, and I was going to try to remember. So hopefully I can remember it while I'm doing this. But I just wanted to kind of give you the signs for March that you maybe not see, and some you're going, oh, I know that. Anyway, so egg is the first one, and so we use our U hand shape. It started out like this, like you're holding the egg, right? And they crack it, and it got to where U hand shape, and then you're hitting it, and it breaks. So that's egg. It used to be like this, right? And it evolved into this, and that's how language is, right? And the next one, I'm going to try to do it in. I did egg for Easter, right? Because Easter came a little bit early this year, and so and it was April too. So, but I gave this particular class in late April. So Easter, I do the E's and I go around like this, and I learned it this way, and a lot of people do it this way because Sunday, right? And where I live, we do touch Sunday, but it's this is Sunday because you're wiping the windows of the church. Easter, a lot of people do a lot of different things. They may do Easter or Easter. I'm not sure, but I do Easter because it's like Sunday, because it's always on a Sunday, right? And that is a Christian holiday, so we're going to do the sign for Christians. So you take your C hand shape, and your little pinky can't really bend, but you do your C hand shape, and then you go across as if you have a sash like Miss America. So you're doing a Christ, and then we do our person. Christ person is a Christian. And so that's how we do that. Also, for resurrection, there's risen is the sign. So you take your left hand or your non-dominant hand, the one you do not write with. You take your dominant hand, the one you write with, into a V shape, in a V hand shape, but you do it upside down and you go like this, like you're going up. Like this is spirit. It's the same kind of hand shape. Risen. And also, I didn't put this on my bingo, but I do like the tomb. And so I use my left hand like a C hand shape, but I put it like this, and then my right hand is the rock, so it is rolled over, right? And then the rock is rolled away, and then he is risen. So you can do it that way. So that's kind of fun, right? A Jewish holiday that comes around in March. And so this is Jewish, where you're grabbing hold of the beard. That's Jewish. This is Rabbi, where you have an R, with their ringlets, Orthodox. I don't know. I think modern rabbis don't have it. I'm not sure, but this is the sign for rabbi, because of the Orthodox. They have the ringlet of the hair, the forelocks of their hair. So and they celebrate. And if I mispronounce, I'm so sorry. Purim, Purim, and it's the sign for mask. It's also the sign for Halloween because it's a mask, right? And you're thinking, why is it a sign for Purim if it's a Jewish holiday? And Purim is when Queen Esther saved her people, and there's a mask, and so there's they when they celebrate Queen Esther, and then they wear a mask like you would see, like at Mardi Gras, where you have the one over here, and they have the mask that you see like in some of the movies when they have these Mardi Gras parties. But this is mask, so it's also Purim. So it depends on the context. So definitely. And then we have the Irish ones and there's leprechaun, right? So you have your L hand shapes, but you're going to bend them a little bit, because what we're going to do is we're going to do the ears. Now, if we did it like this, at Christmas time it would be an elf. But for leprechaun, we do it kind of to the side or back, right? Leprechaun. Leprechaun. And St. Patrick's Day, you pinch. You don't really, but you're twisting, right? You're pinching. That's St. Patrick's Day. Leprechaun. And then you could do a pot of gold. Earring yellow is gold. Okay. And also March was Transgender Awareness Day. So transgender. Now, it's been different signs over the years, and this is the one that is used now and is accepted. transgender. Also, the first day of spring. Spring, it's growing, right? Something that here's your ground, your little hole, and then something grows out of it. Spring. And then we did Jewish. And then we, I know I'm doing it on this phone, but it's not the real bingo card like I had. Okay, so it was also Women's Awareness Month as well, Women's History, that is. So we take our A hand shape at our chin and go down with the open five, women. So you can do women's, and now we're going to do history. Now there's 3 different ways to do history, and it's just a regional accent. I learned like this. I like it, but it's an H on this non-dominant hand, and it goes back a little bit. I'm brushing it back. I've also seen it like this, where you're just hitting it, and I've also seen it like this. I just prefer that, and I think it's because that's how I learned it. And I still see some people do that. I see some people do this as well. So I see it all. I've seen it all, but it just depends on where you're from or where you learned it. But none of them are wrong. Okay. And then the Kentucky Derby, right? So for the bingo, I did horse race, right? So we take our U hand shape with our pinky out, and because it's going to rest against our head, and a horse, because their ears flicker. You could do both, but it's not necessary. And then we're going to do race or compete, right? So we both A hand shape, and then one goes in front of the other, and then the other one. And because I'm right-handed, I go right, left, right, left. It doesn't matter if you did left, right, left, right. It doesn't matter, because it's like it's racing, right? This could also mean a political race, any kind of competition, any type of competition or race or anything like that, or a contest. It's this way because one's ahead, one's ahead, one's ahead, one's ahead. So that's the sign for that. So then Girl Scout Cookie Month was in March, right? So I went ahead and did the whole thing for Girl Scout, right? So girl, and then because a brownie would be like this, or Boy Scout, but when you're a Girl Scout, even though brownies sell cookies, then you have your 3-hand shape, or it's not a 3-hand shape, because this is a W and this is U, right? But this is the sign for a scout, right? Because that's how they do their salute. So it'd be Girl Scout cookie. Now we've got our C hand shape, and we're going to have, it's like a cookie cutter, and we're going to cut our cookie. And you could even do month. It's like all these weeks right here, and you're just going right down, straight down. Okay, I know there's a lot. Dolphin Awareness Week. Who knew? So people who live on the coast, that's kind of fun, right? So here, your non-dominant hand, the hand you do not write with, is your horizon, so to speak, and this is going to be the ocean or the water. So that's what this is. And then I'm going to have my right hand. It isn't a D, that is English, but that is the sign for it. And it's dolphin, because it's going in and out of the water, right? In and out of the water. If you see it from your own perspective, you can see it better. See, like a whale is a Y, the same handshake, and a D for dolphin. And awareness is to know, or you could do it on your head, is awareness. Dolphin Awareness Month. Okay, so we did Girl Scout. So then we have our Muslim. They just finished it of their Ramadan. I was going to say, and it's kind of goes along with Jewish Lent. I'm not Jewish. I'm sorry. I get Jewish do celebrate Lent, and Catholic celebrate Lent, and I think some other Christian organizations and denominations celebrate Lent as well. So it's the same thing as 40 days of fasting. So, but I did it for the Muslim for Ramadan, and so this is Muslim. It's the moon, right? Moon. It's also the sign for mosque. So this is Muslim, and then they're fasting, and so you have your F hand shape, and you're closing your mouth, and that also means zip it. Like if you're telling someone, shh, don't say anything, shh, don't say anything, zip it. It's the same, really, right? Because you're closing your mouth and you're zipping it, so you're fasting. So Muslim fasting. The end of Ramadan is Eid. Is it Eid or Eid? And it's a hand shape, and it goes from one side to the next. And if you were left-handed, you would start over here. I guess you would start on the same side, right? It depends on. Um, you would start on the opposite side of that arm. So I'm going from left to right, and if I was left-handed, right to left. That's Id. That's the end of Ramadan. So fasting finished, and then Id celebrate. Right? That's how you would do. And then the people from India celebrate Holi, Holi. Um, but so this could be India because it's the dot on their forehead, or it can be an eye with India. I've seen both in the same area, right? And then it's Holi, so I wasn't sure if it's Holly, but it's Holy. And then it's color. And the reason why is you've probably seen pictures of all of these different people from India. They've got all these different colored paints on them, and they have this like um, paint fight, right? They have dry powder, and they have dry paint powder, and it's all over their clothes and their face and their hair. Color. And this is a celebration that they do every year. I was trying to remember what Holly meant, and I had a piece of paper that told me what it celebrated, and it's to celebrate spring, renewal. It also, there's some of their ancient people who were fighting against good and evil, and evil losing and good winning. I wanted to say it opposite. So that's what they do, and that's how they celebrate is that with the different color. So that's the sign for Holi, for the Indian celebration of good and evil, right? And spring and renewal and new beginnings. Also, let's see. I forgot on the Irish one for St. Patrick's Day we do potato and Ireland or Irish is the same sign. So you take your non-dominant hand as your potato, and then you have a bit V, and it goes like this, and that's Ireland, Irish, potato. So same difference. Okay. We did Easter, we did Muslim, we did horse racing, we did Purim, and I think we got them all. So I think those are the ones that I did for my March bingo, and I was hoping that that one that I thought of would kind of pop up in my mind, but I had forgotten that it was in March, and I think it was in early March. But I couldn't remember. So anyway, hopefully, so if I remember, then we'll have that for next year. But anyway, I know that's many, many signs, but I hope you have fun with that, and so that you can know next year you can ask your friends if they did celebrate that. Like if they're Jewish, was it Purim? If they're Muslim, did they celebrate Holy? And if they were Christian, did they celebrate Easter? So you can ask all your friends and if they're from India, did they celebrate if they're Muslim, did they celebrate Ramadan with the fasting? So, and that's the same thing with Lent. It's the same thing as 40 days of fasting something. Now, the Muslims, they celebrate fasting food and drink for 40 days, but when the sun goes down, they eat. And then for Lent, it's the 40 days. People will like sacrifice something that they really enjoy or they like, or maybe it's a luxury. So they will kind of give that up and sacrifice that for 40 days. I just want to tell the difference before I close. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy and practice it, and I'll see you later. Bye.